It has been a long time since I posted on this channel, but I want to dig into some Lego stuff. So I went to a local Lego store called Atlanta Brick Company, and they have a big bin of Lego that you can just kind of sort through and grab out pieces you might want. And I did a small cup because I only have a really limited amount of time, and usually I really spend a lot of time to pick and choose. But I figured we'd go through everything and kind of pre-sort some stuff and just look at what I managed to find and see whether or not I got my money's worth with this. I think this was about $7. So I saw this, a lot of little tiled stuff. It was all kind of built together. So a bunch of pieces I can get for pretty easy, but I'm going to set that aside. Have a gate. And I believe there's a second half of this gate somewhere in there. I found this piece had a sticker on it that said toys. Thought it was kind of cool. I like really any piece that has either printing or a sticker that isn't in bad condition. I'll usually pick those up. And I'm going to kind of do a pre-sort here. So things that kind of go off to the left are just general parts. Things that go to the right are going to be like either minifigure pieces or pieces with stickers and whatnot. And then I have a lot of these types of pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour all this out. Quite a lot of pieces when you get into it. And I'm just going to start sorting through it. So here's a piece that has a printing on it, probably from one of the Disney princess sets. There was actually a minifigure in there. General rule of thumb at this place is there aren't going to be minifigures in the spare parts, but they just kind of in bulk pour it in. And so every once in a while you'll run into pieces that make up a minifigure. And in this case, a whole minifigure was in there. I view that as fair game. I'm just going to pull out a lot of the regular parts here. Here's another stickered piece. This one is like a dog food thing, probably from Lego Friends. Here is another printed piece. Don't know what this goes to, but like I said, any printed piece I can grab, I will. I'm going to guess it's like Speed Champions or something. Let's see. I got a lot of just kind of general slope pieces, different colors. I really like these kind of architectural pieces that can be used for just about anything. All right, here's a. Oh, I just dropped it. A little ski. These are often used, I think, in like Star Wars sets, but it's a minifigure part, so I'll go with the minifigure stuff. Oh, put the minifigure to the wrong side there. Here's a part with, again, printing, not a sticker. Let's see, lots of little pieces. Here's a printed panel piece. I'll sort that off to the side. This is an interesting one. This is one of the, I'll take off this small piece. This is one of the kind of inverse round pieces, but it actually has a printing, which I assume this is something Star Wars related, but I don't know, so I'll have to look that up later. A lot of little architectural pieces again. I actually picked up this eyeball printed piece. This one I actually really need for a different thing. I'm going to actually set it to a whole different side. I'll just put it way up here. I actually need that for a mock I'm working on. Here is a this is a stickered piece, but the sticker is in really good condition and it's on there fairly straight. I don't know who this is from. Probably again, Lego Friends would be my guess. Kind of looks like it would be like a Donkey Kong related thing, but I'll put off to the side. Here's another printed control panel piece. Chairs, I consider minifigure parts. So I'll set it off to the side. Here is a Lego Friends head, random piece. Trash can, I consider that a minifigure accessory. Here's also a flame piece. I don't consider these minifigure like, but I do set translucent flame pieces off to one side. I got quite a few of them, and I just try to have a whole separate box of those. Here is a drumstick, turkey leg. That'll go to the minifigure side. Let's see here. Lots of regular brick pieces again. These are the types of pieces I tend to look for. The most valuable one for me is actually the ones that are bricks, like the actual brick pattern, like this. These are super valuable. So kind of in a pre-sort manner, I try to have all these little architectural bricks off to one side. Let's see here. Anything more interesting? You sometimes just get these random pieces that are together. Here is this is, I believe, a sticker. No, it's a printed piece. That's a printed piece. Again, I don't know what it goes to. and it's on these two little white pieces, but I'm gonna break them off, set them to the side, print a piece over here, minifigure accessory, walkie-talkie, set off to one side. Same with these. These are, of course, lightsaber hilts. They're useful for all sorts of things, but it is a minifigure part. Here's another one. This is binoculars. More flames off to the side. An interesting little translucent claw piece. All right, let's see here. Let's sort some stuff. I also like to get as many gold pieces as I can. So you'll see a lot of gold and sometimes even, silver pieces in here. And that's mostly just get as much of that as I can. Um, make my big pile of gold like a dragon hoard or something. But I don't particularly like keep all the gold color pieces together. I just like to pick them up. All right, here's a silver piece, silver slope piece. This is a cool one, a wagon wheel. I like these because I like castle themes. So anytime I can get anything kind of castle related. And again, I'm going to put this kind of in minifigure side, although it's not technically true. I'm just going to go that route with like more valuable pieces for myself, more flame pieces here. Okay, so here's the other half of the gate. So I managed to find both gate pieces. And this was actually rather interesting because these were like in two very separate areas. And the first time I found one, I just kind of ignored it at first because I was like, well, if there's only one half, there's really no point. And then I went further on like 30 minutes later. I only had about an hour, about 30 minutes later, I found the other one. And I had to go back and dig back through and try to find it. So set that off to the side. More lightsaber hilts. Let's see. I really like hinge pieces as well. Any type of hinge or like rotation pieces, like this one. This one's actually an older one because it's got these old connection styles. So that's really cool. I like picking those up if I can. Little reindeer antler things. I'll actually pull that off. These, I believe, I'll consider as a minifigure piece. It might be categorized differently if I look on something like stud.io. Hot dog, go with that. Here's a little tentacle piece, old uh, little control knob antenna pieces. These are, I think these are considered like plant and animal, but I'm going to just set it to the side. Here's another stickered piece. It's pretty cool. It's like a little Lego package, which I like. I found this big old crate. So, of course, I'll go to the minifigure side. Here is another control panel printed piece. Here is an interesting, like, compass style logo piece. I don't know what this went to. I'll end up searching up all these things later to see what they went to. Someone did a big stack of translucent bricks, so I just went ahead and picked them up. Anytime someone has like stacked a bunch of things together, it's really easy to throw them into the little cup here and it not take up a lot of space and you get a lot of pieces with it. And every once in a while, I'll just grab a thing, just throw it in no matter what. I don't even know why I would have grabbed this, except for maybe this gray piece, but didn't even bother taking it apart. Here is some sort of Ninjago sticker piece. And here is a Mario code piece that I have no idea which one it is or what it goes to, but grabbed it anyway. Here's another stickered piece, like a power control box. This was a great find for me. I have another mock that I've been wanting to do for a long time that's like a drive-in theater, and one of the things that I had on the backside of, like, the little concession stand was a power box, and, having one that's actually a sticker is great, so that was a great find. Interesting little stud piece here. I have no idea what that is, what it goes to. If I had to guess, it almost looks like the reflection of, like, a Dr. Robotnik glasses, but I don't have any Sonic sets, so I actually have no idea. Couple of these little pillar pieces, one of which is gold and one of which is the, kinda medium nougat color. Ooh, there's some hairs in there, wonderful. A little flag piece. I'll put that in the minifigure section. Let's see, lots of gold. Here's more chairs, brown chairs. Lots of brown chairs. There was actually more than even that. I just quit grabbing them. This one was interesting. It's a little goat face. Again, I have no idea what this goes to. I'll have to look it up. And that's printed. That's not a sticker. That's a printed goat face. Really weird. Here's some weird, like, connection pieces. Don't know what they were for. I'll end up taking all these apart and eventually sorting and categorizing. These will all get cleaned first. Here's like a kind of a standard little eyeball thing. But yeah, I tend to clean everything. Like a little hair on my camera there. Because of course they come with exactly that, like little hairs and all sorts of gross stuff. And this is other people's collections for years and years. I don't really want them in my don't want all the unclean aspects in there, so I'll give them all a good wash, except for the sticker pieces. I'll have to treat those a little bit more carefully. Little gauge piece. Let's see. Here's another good little brick piece. Here is an interesting one. It's like an eyeball, but it's on one of these circular pieces. So interesting. Another printed piece, fire engine, and it actually has a little part here that I'll have to get out later. Let's see, let's see. Oh, here's a interesting one I came across. It's a little minifigure hat propeller piece. So, all right. And these are always a great find. These kind of, again, architectural spiral work pieces. And this one was in gold, so that was a good find as well. I consider this a minifigure piece. I don't really know what they're called, but I always just kind of consider them like space blasters. So that goes with minifigures. Here's another plant piece. Spyglass pieces, these just like the lightsaber hilts, even though they're used a lot of times for like architectural stuff. I view them as a spyglass, so they go to minifigure. I'm sure that they might be categorized differently, and I'll likely categorize them in the same thing as these, which is like bars and clip pieces. But for now, I'm setting it to one side. Here is a little flame piece. Interesting. Not quite sure what that goes to. I was really happy to find this piece. Every once in a while, you'll come across these brick pieces, but then they have holes in them and they have kind of like the underside's a little bit different. I believe these are all like the pneumatic system pieces. So these are, I think, older. But every once in a while, you'll find one of them and it's worth grabbing because it's kind of an older part. Here's a weird blaster piece that I found. I'm not sure that this is official Lego or not. Take a closer look. Yeah, so I don't think this is official Lego. So this is going to go in its own special pile over here of like, the mixed in pieces that aren't really useful. Some gold column pieces, more gold, lots of gold. Anytime I see the gold, I grab it. More binoculars, more binoculars. Here's a gem. And then, lucky me, second eyeball. So now I've got both the eyeballs I need for one of the little mocks I was wanting to do. I believe those are like hidden side pieces. Also, a little bit bent and warped, so it needs to be kind of taken care of a bit and not break it, but it's an old ore piece. So it's kind of minifigure related. Random minifigure hand. Let's see, more gems, more printed eyeballs, more flames. What else do we have here? More of these like kind of plant tail pieces. These are like tails or vines or whatever, but they're pretty useful. And I know this is actual Lego. It's kind of a little blaster piece, but minifigure related. More bars, more antennas. Here's another one of the little skis. Let's see. Printed hazard piece. Got a little ingot, black ingot piece. I also really have a fondness for these types of bricks, the ones that are completely hollow and transparent. I like picking those up whenever I see them. There's actually plenty of them usually, especially from older sets. Another little blaster type thing. And I started picking up these pieces as much as I could. Came to find out that like this is fairly rare for my collection of pieces, and they're very useful for brick built doors and whatnot for castles. Here's a white ski for the minifigure. Here's another little gun thing. Again, I'm not certain that this is actual Lego. I'll go look it up eventually, but I don't think or I think this one might be. It might be Star Wars related, but I'll set it to the side and actually make sure about that because I'm not big into Star Wars. Got a I believe this is like Miles Morales Spider-Man logo printed slope piece. Let's see, more gold, little pieces that don't have anything. They're just architectural. Here's an interesting piece that I randomly came across. I had no idea what it was, and it's not Lego, although it's really interesting about it. If I can find, well, I'll just do this. If I take off this minifigure, like it goes perfectly on a Lego stud, like perfectly. And this is, I looked it up in the store, and then I kept it because I have something I wanna say about it later, but this is from a Tron action figure. It looked like it was Tron related, and I knew there was, like, a Tron Lego, and the fact that it so perfectly fit onto, a single stud of a Lego piece was really interesting. Now, again, it's not actual Lego, but, um, I actually wanted to use it as a prop for something much later. Here's a little, I don't know, jar of strawberry jam or something. I'm gonna take that whole piece and put it over here. It's kind of all together. Here is a Lego coin thing, but it's not the it's not the original very shiny gold coin. It's kind of that silk gold color. Really weird. I don't know what's up with that. Let's see. Got a Jurassic Park slope sticker piece. Don't know what that's from, but hey, pretty cool. I was a little bit upset about this one because I like that it's a clock face, but the sticker is so off kilter. I'm going to see if maybe I can rescue this sticker. It's why I picked it up. Maybe recenter it a bit better. Here's another little gauge speedometer piece. I'll pull that off with a clip. Got a binocular and a wrench and feather. Let's see here. Anything else interesting? Oh, here's a good one. Keyboard. Pretty cool. Another little bar gun looking thing. Here's a Harry Potter wand right here, or chopstick. Although I think they actually have a chopstick piece now they start using, but that or drumsticks. It was like kind of multi-purpose. Lots of little flame pieces. Like I said, I always grab those when I can. Let's see anything else. Oh, here's an interesting one. I have no idea what this goes to, and I'm pretty sure it's official Lego. Yeah, it's got the writing on it, but I have no idea what this goes to. Maybe it's a Batman thing, like the Joker. Don't know. Thing I'll look up later. And I believe that is pretty much it. Here's a little knife. Again, I don't think this is actual Lego. I think that's probably fake Lego. Stuff shows up in these things all the time. Oh, here's a skate, a little black skate piece that's minifigure related. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna flip everything over. Here's cherries. So I actually like that piece. I might use it in my Minas Tirith set because they had cherries there as well. Well, I guess not because it's tomatoes that Denethor eats. Here's a antenna, Star Wars antenna. This is, I believe, the smallest Lego piece there is. And I know this because when I'm doing my washing of Legos, it's always a thing that gets stuck in my washing system, causes problems. I keep finding new printed pieces. That's why I wanted to go through it all. There's a little paw print. It's actually a sticker. Now I'm looking at it. It's a sticker on a single stud. Interesting. Anything else? Anything else? Let's find out. Oh, here, check it out. Avengers logo printed. I love finding the printed pieces. I won't ever use them, but I kind of like it's like a thing I like to collect. And maybe this is where I will look at the gold star. Maybe it's where I'll actually pontificate about this little piece, right? So when I grab a piece like this, and what happened to the Avengers logo? Ah, there it is. So I'll take these two pieces as an example. So um, one of the things I like about Lego is that I can go to a bin of random parts, and they all feel like they have value. See this little Lego Tron thing? It's from an action figure, and by itself, there's zero value to this. I mean, I don't know what I would do with it. It's just kind of a thing. And it by itself has no real intrinsic value. I couldn't like not that I resell, but if there's nothing to add as a collection, it's not really useful for anything. I could use it for some again, maybe random Lego activity. But the cool thing about like a printed piece like this and just Lego in general, whether it's printed or, just an architectural piece is a Lego set deconstructed, it still has value. Each individual piece is useful for something. And whether it's printed or not, um, I like that there's just value in the parts. I think it's what really sets Lego apart as a toy sometimes. And as someone who likes to collect things, I just like having the cool little pieces that I don't know what it goes to. I mean, oh, not the camera there. I don't know like what this piece goes to. No clue. I'll have to look it up, but that's to me, that's really cool that I could just use this if I wanted to build a little toy shop for a city. Any of these little pieces that are either stickers or printed, they could still be something, and I like that about Lego. All right, so let's take a look here now. I'm going to pull all this in here. This is all the stuff that is either unique bricks, like this pneumatic one, or it's minifigure pieces or related to minifigures, or it's stickers, or it's printed pieces. Um, Quite a lot of them that I got in this little cup. This is, I think this is the smallest cup. It might actually be the medium at Atlanta Brick Company, they basically have, 3 sizes, if I remember. There's, like, a really small, shallow one, which is, like, $5 to fill up. This one's, like, 7 or something. Maybe there's actually a big one. Maybe this is, like, the small one, but it's cheap. It's, like, 5 or $7. Then there's a bigger cup, that you can fill up that is, I think, like, maybe $15 or something. And then they have a really big shoe box size thing that I'll probably do like a similar thing like this with a bigger one of those. And I think it's like $40, but you can fit a lot in it. And like I said, if I have time in those types of things, I like to sit there and go through. I mean, it's a big bin. I like to go through and just find all the interesting little pieces I can add to my collection, whether it's a minifigure or it's printed pieces or stickered pieces. All of them have interesting value to me. I can use them in mocks. I can just add them to my collection of random little assorted things of interest, and I find that a lot of fun. So I think I actually did pretty well here, considering that a minifigure alone kind of imparts is at least a couple bucks in value, and I found that in the bin. And I don't know what all these little, these things aren't going to go for a lot. This would be like, at best probably 10 cents. I could look it up, but some might be more valuable than others. But to me, it's all got its own intrinsic value, and I'm really glad that I got it. And I'm super happy to have gotten these eyeballs because they are definitely something I just straight up needed. So it's pretty cool, and that's just the stickered pieces. And then, of course, if I just move that off to the side, then I've got all of this that are just random assorted pieces. Again, architectural or gold or just random parts. I can just take it apart and add it to my collection of hinges and studs and Technic pieces and all the rest. Anyway, I thought it'd be kind of fun and maybe a little bit zen to go through all this. Um, and, I highly recommend if anyone's ever near the Atlanta Brick Company, which is over in between, Noonan and Peachtree City in the state of Georgia. It's a really great place, independently owned, a really big store, a lot of really cool stuff. But I love going there to just go through the bins. I kind of feel like their individual sets and minifigures and all that are rather overpriced, honestly. But I feel like their bins are actually a pretty decent value to go and just collect as many parts as you can. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you in the next LEGO video.